Yo, what's up, y'all? It's late as fuck. I just finished watching the Bucks versus Eagles game. It was a very close game. I hate these close games. Um, I need Tom Brady to make sure that separates himself from the rest. But we need more. We need a better secondary. We need to improve on secondary. We need to start drafting players from other teams or some shit before the end of draft day, or we're fucked. But going into today, today was a day of, I call it, I'm sorry, I'm tired. I call it, if you were just to, I'm calling today, if you were just to do what you're supposed to do, so many opportunities would have been there. You could have walked away today in a very good position. Um, I believe I saw this stock on my scanner. There was literally barely anything popping up. Um, but I saw this stock on my scanner. Looked at the yearly chart. It's a continual fade with perk ups but fade. Going into the daily chart here. Um, Going into the chart here. I'm shocked that it did this. I didn't even look at it towards the end of the day. But okay, it's clear to me that I was on the right track when it came to this stock. Um, it's just I failed to follow the rules. Um, so I saw this stock. Um, I could tell it was being manipulated. Plus, the yearly chart was horrible. I looked at the outstanding here. Remember this is not always accurate. Yahoo Finance isn't always accurate. But I looked at the outstanding here. Is a high outstanding, but the stock is under a penny, so you got to divide everything by 10. So if I divide that by 10, I think that's like 25,000 shares compared to like a real stock or stock that I would normally trade. And if I divide this by 10, it'll be 18,000. Or I think, let me do the math because I'm not even thinking straight. But 25, 7 divided by 10. Yeah, so whenever there's low price stocks like these, you got to divide them by 10 to compare them from, you know, a $1 stock or a $10 stock. It gives you a better idea of how to trade it and how to view the stock. Because if you're not accustomed to trading stocks that are under $1, um, uh, then you can get yourself in a bad position. My homework's here. I got homework that's due. I'm a kid in college and I'm studying and I'm trading. But I honestly took on this short because there was nothing else popping, and on my watch list, um, there was nothing. Nothing on my watch list, nothing on the scanner. And honestly, I was thinking about just like getting up and just going back to bed. But I was like trying to be patient to watch the markets, and I'm like, instead of going back to bed, use this time to do something productive. But I was really tired. I woke up in the middle of the night, and I woke up in the middle of the night and I couldn't go back to sleep. So I got into this trade. I shorted 2,000. Now I'm not accustomed to shorting stocks under dollar. And 2,000 really isn't a lot of shares at 44 cents. When I did it, it was like I think not even $1,000 or maybe 1,000 or 2. I don't really remember. I was barely in, and then I'm like, I'm barely risking anything. I did the math on it. I'm like, I'm literally risking like little to nothing. So I added and I put 6,000 shares on this ad. I honestly I kind of added a bit too much too early. Um, I don't know why it's showing the chart like that. I can't. There you go. So honestly, I added a bit too much too early, and I for already chased it here after the market opened, but I don't think I was watching it once the market opened. So I chased it, but I felt like it was gonna go higher, or from reading the price action, it looked like it was gonna go higher. So I dropped in a little bit, and I was already uncomfortable. And then it started going down some more. So I'm like, this might be a flush. So let me just chase it a little bit. And honestly, I added too much too early. And I added 6,000 shares here. And then it bounced. And I saw that it was going to bounce. But um, then I was going to add another 6,000 here. Um, and to be honest, the total amount that I was going to be using was about $5,000 in this trade. But for some reason, and I know there's a reason why, I just don't know, and they probably can explain it to me. If I call my broker and find out, Interactive Broker, but I probably like some kind of margin issue. But I only used $5,000 um of my trading account. So when I went to go add another 6,000, which was like little to nothing, I was probably right here. I was in about like I'll say 3,000 or 2,000. I would say, and I was like, I'm risking little to nothing. I barely have any money in this trade. When I tried to enter the 6,000, it wouldn't execute. They said I had to adjust it to like 29,000, and that's the maximum I'm allowed to use in this trade. And then when I executed it, I'm like, wow, I'm only using only four to $5,000 on this trade, and I'm like, I'm aiming for only half my size or less. And excuse me, excuse me, and uh, $5,000 was like honestly not realistic for me. Um, and uh, After entering, I was just like, all right, whatever, I guess. So I just started to fade. It was just fading. Like I was making like what? I was in with 10,900 shares, so that was about. I think it was about $10 per something, which is about probably $100 per penny or some shit, and or less than a penny. I don't know what it was per penny or per half a penny. I have no idea. But at this point, I kind of didn't take the trade seriously because my average was pretty low, like right here or something, or my average was pretty bad on this trade, but it just started fading, and then at this point, I was up 300, and I told myself to take it. Um, I told myself to take it because, um, why not? And it broke the lower day, which was what right here. You need to be taking your gains, but uh, I thought to myself, what if it drops some more? and I honestly wanted more. I was influenced by lust, and I waited more, and it bounced pretty good on me. And I think I gave back a 2/3 of my gains, if not almost all of it. Um, and I was just like, what the fuck, like, um, you know, you just had the wrong mindset, and you're already repeating your negative patterns, and you know what happens after that, a snowball effect. So I think at this point I was red on the day or close to it. And then it started fading. Right here, I was up 200 for the day, didn't take it. Then right here, I think I was up a little bit less than 200, still didn't take it. Greed was kicking in. Lust was kicking in. I wanted what I wanted. I didn't want to take less than 500. When I was sizing in here, I was telling myself I want over $1,000 in profits for this trade. But then when my order got executed, when I entered my order and it rejected and said I could only do another 29,000 shares, I went with that. But after I executed, I had to check myself, and I'm like, yo, you're in that mindset of, or you just told yourself, oh, you want $1,000, over $1,000 in this trade, over 1,300 in this trade, and you're already in the wrong mindset. And you can clearly see how what I'm saying now. You can see it in this chart, because I shorted here. I exited near high day near my entry. I don't remember exactly what my entry was, but it was horrible. It was probably like in this range right here, in this area right here. Um, yes, I had all I had higher shorts here, but my bulk of shares were from here, so it had to been like in this range right here. But I mainly had most of my shares here, so my average was pretty low. Um, but I was in the wrong mindset. I was thinking about the money more than anything. When I made 300, I said I wanted more. Even when I shorted here, I wanted here and here. But even when I chased it and made a bad decision, I still wanted to go full size, not full size, but a decent amount of size, a good, a good 15,000 if I could. Um, let me zoom out some. So eventually, I started. I'm like, it was going so, it was consolidating. I'm like, this trade is not going my way. I'm about to take an unnecessary loss. I'm thinking about the future and the past, which I just read in Rhonda Howard's book, which I've been pushing myself to read. That you cannot think of the future. You don't want to think of the future nor the past. You don't want to think of the future of what could happen. You don't want to think of the past of what has happened before to influence your trading. And at this point, I started being influenced by my emotions of fear. And honestly, uh, excuse me, um, I got influenced, and not only that, I began to watch NRXP here, um, and I saw that it was going up. And I'm like, NXRP is a perfect short. Although I traded it literally the other day. Um, although I traded it literally the other day and made what 1,300. And I thought this shit was dead, or this was the first red day. I thought this was gonna be a second red day. which it was coming out to be a second red day. I thought like it was just gonna keep fading here, and that was it, and I wasn't even gonna touch it. And pre-market, it wasn't even looking good, so everything was looking horrible. So, and this was red, so I left it alone. But then um, it popped up on my scanner as a 37% gainer, and I'm looking, I'm like, God damn. So I said, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm not being disciplined right now. This trade is I'm losing my patience with this trade, and I'm losing patience with with this trade, and I don't even want to deal with it no more. So I'm like, you know what? I'm up $100. I'm gonna take that. And when I executed my order, I must have did some kind of fat finger mistake. But I entered my order, and I only, instead of making my $100, I made a $23 gain. And I was just like, what the fuck? The last traded price was like, I thought it said 43. Um, but then again, now looking back, 40, I think 47 was my average. 43.70 was my average. But the last traded price said I was up $100. But when I entered my order, um, that shit got executed too high, and I only made 23 bucks. Honestly, in my mind, I took that as a loss. And as ridiculous as it sounds, and how lustful I sound, I took this trade as a loss. When I was trading NRXP, I was telling myself I'm already down on the day. Let's not let it be another time on the day. And I also thought about like my calendar, and I don't want to put another red marker on my calendar because I want to be green every single day, which is also another uh, negative psychology thing where I want green every single day, like I have control over probability, um, and that's coming from lust, wanting green every single day. Um, so yeah, like it's just continual. I'm in the wrong mindset. Um, but honestly, I'm slowly improving. I must say, I'm slowly improving. Um, yeah, and then going into the rest of the day, I did not realize this shit dropped this much. I mean, I probably would have made another 300 bucks or so. Um, yeah, I probably would have made another 300 bucks or so. But I saw a better opportunity, a better trade. There's nothing wrong with getting out of the trade that you're in to go trade something else because you see a better opportunity. And that's what happened here. I saw a better opportunity, so I got out. I just got out too high and only took a small piece, small gain. But clearly you can see that I was on the right track. Um, Clearly you can see I was on the right track. I was in the right mind. I was not in the right mindset, but I was on the right side of probability. I just failed to trade it well. Um, so yeah, that's it. Going into the next trade, uh, and excuse me if I'm talking a lot. Like I'm really just trying to teach myself in the future, um, versus entertaining motherfuckers. But this stock, I didn't really need to look at the SEC nor the um, um, outstanding shares or anything like that because I've traded this before. Yesterday, I remember they had some shit going on, so it's like I already know. So yeah, I thought it was gonna be a first red day. I said the second red day turned out to be that turned out not to be the case. Um, and um, I was like, okay, it didn't break higher day. it was after 11. It hasn't broke high a day, which was 1368. It failed to break it. It's already pulling back. So I said, okay, you know, there go my opportunity. I'm gonna size in pretty small, and I first went in with 500 shares. And I did. I think I did the math because I'm like, I'm not risking for a pre-market high day. I'm not gonna risk for pre-market high day, and I'm not risking high a day. I'm just not gonna do it. There's no need. But later on, you see, I end up doing just that. Um, so I'm like, there's no need to risk high a day because I'm not even gonna be like trying to stay in this trade for long because I have tutoring uh, almost every day. Not because I don't understand what I'm doing, but or what I'm learning, but I need to make sure I pass this class because I withdrew too many times for personal reasons. So I'm like making sure I know the knowledge and everything for the class so that I can pass it. Uh, but I already told myself, okay, you know, it's been uptrending. You're gonna use 1320 as your risk. High day is 13 49, but I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm gonna make this a quick trade. If it doesn't go my way within the time frame, I need to get out. If it fades a little bit, I need to get out. That was the plan, and I didn't stick to it. So when I shorted this, I had an average of 13.4, 13.3. So I was like doing the math. I'm like, okay, I'm only risking about $75 per share. I mean, $75 in total. I'm like, I can do a little bit more. Um, I can add a little bit more, and if it drops a dollar or at least 50 cents, I can make at least $500 and walk away. So I added another 500 shares here, or actually 200. I was probably looking for a higher short, um, either near 1320 or 1350 because I was in small and if it bounces higher, I can just take a better short and then you know if it rejects, I'm not risking much, so it's okay. Um, then I saw it, panic down, and from my memory, I'm just going off of memory right now, and I just added another whatever. What did I add? I hate when it does that. Um, I added 500, then I added another 500, then I added another 200. Um, right here. So I was in about 1,200 shares in total, and it started pushing up against me. I was down probably like more than what I needed to be. Um, but I patiently waited. I saw that it wasn't hitting past my entry, and honestly I sized in too big too early, and uh, the 2 3 I probably was down like $300-400. Yeah, I remember now. It's about $304 $300 to $400, and I didn't want to take that loss. I sized in too big too early. Um, I wasn't in full size, but I was in like well over I think $15,000, and I was just like, Sonny, you did it again. You made that mistake again. And I told myself, you know what? If it gives me a pullback, I'm gonna downsize into it and then downsize into the rest of it and make a few, or maybe make a few $100 and move on. And it just kept perking up against me. It didn't hit my risk, and it started fading. Right here, I don't know how much I was up. I don't remember, but I know it wasn't much. But I kept telling myself, you need to get out. You need to get out. Just kept telling myself, you need to get out. This trade's not going my way, and it's taking too long. I literally spent the whole entire day watching this, and I hate doing that because I don't like giving up that much time to the market. And when I am giving up the whole day to the market, excuse me, that's how you know um, the trade's not going my way. And I'm probably in a fighting. I'm probably fighting to stop. So instead of covering when I'm supposed to, well before that, I saw that it perked back up after this chance for me to get out, and it held above this low, this bottom right here held above this low, and literally told myself, you need to get out now because it's gonna start going against you, and you better not. You make sure you don't add. And as it's perking up, I got the brightest idea to add, as you see here. I got the brightest idea to add right here, and um, I'm just like, what the fuck? After I added and it started perking up against me, that's when I started realizing, like, yo, you're making your mistakes again. You're in full size. You're like, they don't. It's to the point interactive brokers not even letting me use leverage anymore. I don't know why. It's probably because my performance has been horrible lately, and I don't even want to use leverage anymore. It's because of my undiscipline I've been using leverage. It helps, yes, helps me make a lot of money, but when I'm wrong, I'm fucked. And I don't want to be in those positions. Uh, but uh, what happened here? So yeah, I realized like, yo, this shit is going against me, and I made the dumb mistake of adding when I told myself not to. Um, and as I was adding, I was literally adding small. I first did 300, then I did 200, and then I was like, okay, it's pushing up. I'm gonna put in some more, and I did 200 because normally I'll do 500 shares or more. I'm doing small increments of shares, and it warned me, hey, you're at your max. You can't add no more. And then it started pricking against me. At this point, um, somewhere I think somewhere around here, I can't remember, but it hit close to my average, and I was down only $100 or less, I think. And I'm like, yo, you can take a small loss here and only lose $100 and get the fuck out. But my stubbornness and my refusal to lose was like, no, I want to win every single trade. And I gave up that chance to take a small loss of $100 or 150 or less, just to make green. And each chance I got when it was coming down to be green on this trade and the other trade, I wouldn't take it because I wanted not just green, but a substantial amount of profits. And like I said, it's still the wrong mindset. And I keep warning myself, if you're gonna be in the wrong mindset, if you're gonna fail to perform well, um, you need to you need to excuse me. If you're gonna fail to perform well, then you need to trade small because you're not in the right mindset, and you need to learn to develop the proper trading habits before you start increasing size. And that's my problem. I know I need to not increase size, but I just keep doing it. And I don't. I keep telling myself, check to see if you can call your broker and have them only allow you to trade half your count size. And I know they can, But I'm not gonna call them because I want to develop the discipline not to trade full size or more than my half my size on my own. I'm not gonna have a broker baby me. It's not a pride thing to me. It's more of I need to develop this discipline. So um, eventually started perking up on me. I went from negative, ranging from 50 to 150 to negative 450. Then it started perking up even more past high day or close to high day, and it went to a high of 1346, just under high day. And at this point, I was down. I was down over $1,000. I was down over $1,000, and that's when reality hit me. And I was like, "You, if you would have just, like I said in the beginning of the day, beginning of this video, today was a day of if you just follow the rules, you would have been straight. Because on the other trade, MKD, um, if I were to just follow the rules, I could have got out for a $300 gain. But instead, I got out for a $23 gain. On NRXP, if I were to just follow the rules, I would have performed way better. When this chart picks up, I'll be able to show you. I don't know why it's doing this. I don't know, man. But if I were to just exit when I was supposed to, I would have been up. And then if I continue to watch in the market, which most likely I would have decided to do that, um, I would have saw that it was perking up um, towards high day. Now, most likely I wouldn't have been taking that additional short if I had followed my rules and got out when I was supposed to. But most likely I would have taken that next short near high day for that big fade because I knew I'm like just like I missed yesterday's massive short on the stock. Um Today uh I know I would have missed this massive short on the stock because uh I had tutoring. Same thing as yesterday, but I missed a big opportunity because I had tutoring. Um but my point that I'm trying to make is that um even if I didn't have tutoring or even if I did, there was a better opportunity. Nothing's working here. There was a better opportunity for me, and if I were to have just followed my rules, I would have gotten out, reshorted here. If if I felt like, hey, um, you know, time was on my side, or a fuck tutoring, and I while I was like, I got in my car and drove to school for the tutoring. I told the tutor to wait. I'm busy. I got into the lab. I told him, wait, I'm busy. Give me a few minutes. I'll come. I'll call you when I'm ready. He knows that I'm a trader. He sometimes, like, while I'm doing my tutoring, I'm watching a stock or even trading or watching a trade. And when I saw that it plummeted like this, I was like, yo, I gotten beat up by the stock so much. Excuse me. that, and it did so many choppy fake outs and fake breakdowns that I'm like, yo, I don't even want to stick for this. My average was like just above my entry, and I'm like, yo, I don't want to stick for this. My average was 13.95 after these entries right here. No, 12.95 after these entries right here. And I'm like, I'm literally like, I didn't even, I didn't even touch 30 cents, a 30 cents gain, and I literally just got out because I gotten so beat up and went through roller coasters of emotions that I would even want I didn't even allow the trade to play out the way, let it unfold because I was so glad I was up after risking $1,000 when the goal was to risk only 100 to 150 here. Um, so once it just crashed, I just got out, and I'm tutoring or doing my homework from as I'm having the tutor help me with my homework. I'm watching this shit unfold, and I'm just like, yo, I could have made an extra $2,000 in this trade, a potential $2,000 extra. But it wasn't about the money for me. It was more of uh the discipline and everything. But if if you and I know I didn't explain it well, but if you look back, if I were to just follow my rules, my performance and my gains would have been tremendously way more. Um, but I'm struggling with that, and it's causing me a lot of issues. Uh, my tutor was watching me take my gains, and I'm like, "Hey, look, I'm up $500," and he was like fascinated and shocked. He's like, "Wow, you're really smart." Um, you know, he was like, "You come here, you already know how to do the work. You just need a little bit of guidance. You're my easiest client to deal with. All I do is just show you, demonstrate it one time, and I get the rest done on my own because I know how to do it. I just keep forgetting how to do it because I'm so focused on more important things." And then he's like, "Not only are you good at math, you're a successful trader or you're a good trader." And I was like, "Not really. You know, I'm just um I'm just like getting better at it. It's taking me a long time." He's like, "No, no, no, you're really good." And I'm like, "Nah, there's traders who, learned this stuff in a couple years. It took me over seven to even get to this point. Um, it took me about 7 years to become consistently profitable. I'm still on my seventh year, and I'm still trying to become even more consistently profitable. Um, but he's Indian, and I was really appreciated for what he said because I'm like, Indian people, they don't play when it comes to success. They're just like the Chinese people and Asian people. When it comes to being successful, boy, they don't play about that shit. And for him to be, you can tell he was born in India, but for him to be like, "Oh, I, you're a very smart kid," and he's shocked. I was like, "Man, okay, I must be on the right track." Because for someone who has high standards for success, tells me I'm successful, then shit, I must be really successful and I don't realize it. But I felt really happy after he said that. But all in all, it's like, man, I just need to do better and follow my rules. I was supposed to not go full size here, and I did. Um, you know, at this point, I was like full size, and not only did I chase and go half size here, my entries were horrible because it's like, okay, yes, you entered like right where you like if you're gonna add to a loser, which you shouldn't be adding to a loser, don't add to a loser right where you entered. Add it on at a higher point so that your average goes up. But I added onto a loser here versus near resistance, and I didn't realize that, like, play towards the resistance, because many times I don't think it's gonna hit the resistance level. I've seen it happen many times where it will perk up, but not even hit the resistance or get close to resistance, and then come crashing down. I miss my ad, and that's why I always add early. But if you're gonna add to a good setup, you really got to start using resistance points, and that's one of my goals that I had entered in my calendar, was to use the proper resistance points and exits and entries, and execute them properly. But I was kind of beating myself up after I missed this big drop, but I'm not gonna say I don't deserve this trade because I didn't follow my rules. But I'm glad that I came out green on this, because it could have been worse. I know I spoke a lot too much in this video. I advise anybody who watches it, or myself, I even watch it in 1.5 speed because I talk a lot. But like I said, man, there's so many fucking rooms to improve. Um, I just need to be more disciplined. So, reading Rondell Howell's ebook is reaffirming what I'm experiencing. After I read his ebook, I'm gonna go into his actual mindful trading book, um, and then I'll go into his videos and his program. And then when I feel like I'm ready and I have my taxes situation right, I'm gonna go into paying him to take me further into the mindful trading. But I need to figure out how to write that off, because I don't want to be just giving away money and haven't positioned myself to write expenses off. But all in all, man, tomorrow's Friday. My goal is to literally trade half my account or less. Tomorrow's Friday. There's big short squeezes coming. Sometimes there's not, but I gotta play it safe. I got a really big day tomorrow. I got trading. I got tutoring. I got my math club to go to. I got COVID testing, and then after that, I gotta go to Lil Baby and Lil Durk's uh, concert, and I just don't want to make any stupid decisions or fuck anything up for myself, and I need to do my homework. So that's it. Thank you.